Hey gang, thought I would just walk you through a little bit of a behind the scenes how I manage it all. So between my Evernote system and my email system, I've got a pretty dialed in program of how I get things from where they show up into where they need to be. So out of the gate, you're going to see I have three things up on top: present, publish, learn. That's essentially what I get paid to do. Below that are five things I can do that will increase the likelihood that one of those three things happen. Now, there's a bunch of stuff that I have to do along the way. So here is a order that I need to return. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and forward this email from my email inbox, and I'm going to send that to Evernote. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in just a moment. Now, in the subject line, I always put exactly what it is that I need to do, because the next time I see this, I don't want to have to think, remember, or reprocess that. Now, I archive everything. If you send me an email, it goes into my archive. At last check, I had about 200,000 emails in archive. So if I get an email and that reminds me that I'm going to need to do something, I'm going to need to follow up, I'm going to take an action, I'm going to need to create something, I'm going to send it to Evernote. And Evernote to me is the one place that I want to go to early in the morning every single day and know exactly what it is that I need to do. So in this case, I had my development team set up. We're going to start releasing for live seminars. I'm going to do this next week in Alabama. For live seminars, people can get a 15-day limited access to Get Momentum. Our idea here is that we can get people to experience a little bit of the program. So again, I'm going to archive that. We're being interviewed by an Australian business unit down under, and they need some information from us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up everything that they're going to need from us so that I can dial all of this in, forward it over again into Evernote. And what I'll do is I'll tell myself once more exactly what it is that I need to do. So in this case, I need to fill out all the speaker forms, make sure that Jody and I have all the right information. I do want to take a look at the website they sent. So what I like to do is make sure that I've got all of that information accessible so that when I get to Evernote, I don't need to go searching for it. So I'll bring up the website. Here's what it is they need to take a look at. Now, I'll take a picture of this so that when I dive back into that Evernote note, I've got everything right there. When it's time for me to sit down, there's the website, there's the information they need, and there are the fields that I may need to fill in. Archive that. Notice I'm putting everything in the archive. I've really slowed down on how many things I'm filing in specific folders. Here we go again. I'm going to send this to Evernote. This is an email from a Get Momentum member that I would love to share with the Get Momentum community. So I tell myself what I'm going to do. That goes into Evernote. I'm delivering a seminar in a couple of weeks in Santa Clarita, California. Here is the website that everyone's going to. Well, when I get ready for this event, I need all the information for that event right there again in the Evernote note. Now, I don't always want to have to, nor do I always have access to the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to file this in the appropriate place. This is a seminar that I'm going to present. And notice that when I tag the subject line, I can tell this information exactly where it is that I need it to go. I need this to go into the @present notebook. Oh, by the way, when I copy and paste all of that information, all of it shows up right there. Got two more emails to go. Here's an email from a school up just a little bit north here of Ojai, and we're working to work with some interns. So what I like to do is take a quick look. What is it that they're going to need? So I'm going to glance through all of this. It's a lot of information they're going to need. So this is going to take me a little bit of time. So not now, but later. So once again, I forward this email. I'm going to take this into and put it into the Evernote where it is that I need it to go. Now, when I put this into that system, what I'm telling the entire system and myself is when it's time to work on the Shinefield Center, all the information is right there. I know I'm not going to be able to do this until I get back from my next business trip, and I know that I'm going to have to work on this with Jody. So when it's time for us to sit down with interns for the Get Momentum community, for the program that we're running, I need to forward all of that over there. Archive. Here's a great email that we got with some amazing information from another Get Momentum member, actually our founding member, Dan Lloyd. And he's got a lot of content in here that I'm going to need to think a little bit about so that I can make sure that I spread that with the right community out there, the folks who need this and can use this. So one more time, I'm going to send this over to Evernote. I'm going to change the subject line to exactly what it is that I need to do. Notice, I need this to be part of the technology theme. So when we think about managing and being productive with technology, I want Dan's note to be a part of that. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and tag the subject line with exactly where it is that I need this to go. Now, for those of you who are already using Evernote, you may have all this information already in your pocket. I just wanted to make sure that I shared it all with you so that you've got that. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of a hint there in the subject line. This is the note title when it lands in Evernote. Now, what you're going to notice is, dun, 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 my email inbox is empty. My goal when I end a session of email processing is that there's nothing there. Now, I might have some things in the flagged area, so I might quickly check those. Here's my Google alert for Get Momentum. Don't need anything there. Here is a Google alert, here is a flag for someone who wants iPhone information. Boom, I want to get that set up. Notice, my email inbox is empty. I'm quitting. I'm out. I am done processing email. Now I'm going to go to work. Now, when you use the Evernote to email connection, all those emails that I sent from email to Evernote, they end up in a process organization notebook. And then I just start moving them. Some of the things need to go to different folders. Some of the things need to get tagged in a different way. And as I move these around, notice I'm always going for 0. I'm doing everything I can to get all of these out of the to organize and into the appropriate place. I'll take a quick look at my calendar to figure out when I can get back to some of these activities that I need to work on. So I'm leaving for a week. I will be back in the office on the 15th. So what I do here is I tag all of these activities that would be great for me to do in a week and a half from now. And I simply put in when it is that I want to take a look at that again, dragging that into a folder called Projects 1 to 90 days. Now, quick aside, Jody and I look at that folder every morning. And from that, we pull what we're going to put in the today list. So here's a lot of information for you. Here's how I get my email to 0. Here's how I maximize my to-do lists. And here's how I manage all of that information as it comes in and then again as it goes out of my system. Now, look, we all know that the systems I use and how I do it is going to be different than how you do it. The goal here is to create an entire workflow. Notice, there's that email I sent from my email inbox into the technology folder. So all of that information is there, including the attachment, and essentially I've been able to get out of my head everything that I need to remember and into the system exactly what it is that I need to do. So if you're using email and if you're managing information using Evernote, let me share this particular note with you, and I can walk you step by step through how I'm managing all of this information, continually seeking that 0 base inbox. What I found is that when I'm working from zero, it actually forces me to go over and take those actions that I said I would take.